All right, guys, so welcome to fall in the Midwest, where one week it's highs in the 60s, lows in the 30s, and now this week we're back up into the 80s. So that's just the way that things go here in the Midwest as far as fall is concerned. You get those ebbs and flows of temperature and sort of humidity fluctuations. But we're almost to the middle of October now, and so fall lawn care in the Midwest, pushing nitrogen big time. I do that with any type of nitrogen source that I have. You don't have to go out and get anything specific. I'm a big fan of just kind of using whatever you have versus going out and buying more products. I've got a little bit of Carbon X left, and so what I do generally in the fall is I spoon feed in very short intervals, about a quarter pound of nitrogen every week up until probably the early November, kind of really just when I run out of product, to be honest with you. And I've got some Carbon X left, so I'm going to give this a quarter pound of nitrogen on the front and the back every week, basically until it's gone. That'll usually get me, I don't know, we've got about 6 weeks left maybe of growing season, so lead me right up to probably about Thanksgiving. And then we're also going to go down really hard on the iron too, and really that's just for aesthetics. Halloween domination, is kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing, but I've got a little bit of Iron Plus that I'm going to use, 6% iron, probably at a rate of about 6 ounces per 1,000 square feet. I've got the Depth MFT from Subvert. That's got another 4% iron in the jug, and then I'm just going to give it a little bit of foliar nitrogen with Turfplex, with the C extra in there, as well as some micronutrients. So the micronutrients and the iron together are really going to drive the color and the aesthetic of the turf, and then I'm going to push definitely some growth. I want some spreading still to go on while I've got some growing season left on the bluegrass and some thin areas that I've got with the Carbon X. So I'm going to go ahead and get an application of that in, and then kind of as we're into the fall season now, we're using our mowers to either mulch up leaves or we're bagging leaves, and so we're mowing more frequently just to keep the debris off of the lawn. Personally, I like to bag my leaves. I don't really need the additional carbon that bad. I'm applying enough carbon throughout the year that the leaves aren't really doing much for me, more so just causing a weed barrier and sort of choking out on some of the turf in some of the areas. So with that, let's go ahead and let's pick up some leaves, and then we're going to start with our fall nitrogen blitz. And also getting down some iron in the attempt to dominate our neighbors this Halloween, although I don't think my neighbors really care if they're being dominated or not. At least that's my perception. So let's go ahead and get going on these applications. So I just mentioned when I was talking about doing the nitrogen blitz or the heavy nitrogen applications in the fall, I mentioned you could use just about anything, that you don't have to buy anything special, and that's true, and also a little bit kind of a touchy subject when you get into nitrogen sources. And so the Carbon X has a slow release and a fast release source in the ammoniacal nitrogen, and then you're getting another nitrogen source from the composted poultry manure that's in the fertilizer. You're generally going to want to use something that has some or all fast release nitrogen in the fertilizer, because one, you're working on a very short timetable here. I'm about 6 weeks out from when my season is going to end, and I want to be able to use fast release fertilizer, or at least something that has fast release in it, so that I can actually see some results from that and see some growth. If you're using something like Milorganite that's a slow release fertilizer, you're probably not going to achieve the results that you want from that nitrogen blitz application. If you've got something like a fast release urea, like a 4600 or a 3200, or even something like a 1313, as long as you're getting out that quarter pound with the fast release nitrogen, or something that has some fast release nitrogen in it, that's going to be your best bet. So we're also going to go ahead and get some foliar applications in. As I mentioned, I'm going to use my Iron Plus. Iron Plus is 6% iron. It also has micronutrients in it, those are really the two biggest players when it comes to pushing a color response in the turf really fast, is getting this foliar application out. letting it sit for about 4 hours or so, and then watering everything in. So I can use this at 3 to 6 ounces per thousand. I'm going to go max rate. If I'm not happy with the color, I can always add more later down the road, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this at the max rate, 6 ounces per thousand. And we'll go ahead and spike that with 3 ounces per thousand of the MFT, just for some added chelated iron and some more micronutrients, and some of the peptides as well. Take it or leave it, right? I'm going to add some foliar nitrogen as well. And the Turfplex also has the C Extra, so it's got the kelp and the cytokines in it. It's a 22-3. Most of it is going to be kind of a foliar slow release, but then you also get a little bit of zinc, manganese, some sulfur, some iron. Then you get the NPK. What I like about the labels on a lot of the BioPro products is that it gives you a table of how much you need to apply based on your nitrogen goals. So on this case, if I apply a little bit over 1/10 of a pound of nitrogen, do 7.5 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So let's go ahead and do that.
Are you ready for the big time, young Mr. Flanagan?
I think I can handle it.
I'm going to go ahead and get my combination mixed up and we'll go spray. Alright, well that's going to do it for the foliar application. I'm just going to give this maybe 3 or 4 hours to sort of marinate on the leaf blade, which is totally fine to do in the middle of the day like I'm doing right now, mainly because our daytime temperatures aren't going to get above 85 degrees. It's kind of the threshold you don't want to cross, right? So let this kind of sit, let the leaf blades absorb all those nutrients, then I'll go ahead and do like a normal cycle of watering, give it maybe a 30-35 minute soak across the entire lawn. So with that said, fall is probably, I don't know, I'd say fall is my favorite time of year for lawn care, as you kind of see the fruits of your labor come to fruition from all the work you put in the summer and the late spring. Everything starts to really start to look good in the beginning of fall. Normally we would have a little bit more rain than we have. Haven't really had a whole lot of rain in the last 2 months to speak of at all, so that really hasn't been on our side, but luckily with irrigation, we can sort of get through that a little bit easier, but nothing really replaces the rain with, you know, nourishing the lawn, getting a color response and things of that nature. So I generally like the fall, but just because of the weather, you know, the leaves are starting to turn. It just, you know, it's really aesthetically pleasing just to take care of the lawn in the fall. I appreciate everyone following along kind of through my plans so far I've had this year as we get near the end of the season. You know, this is sort of the show time for probably my favorite time of year, right, for showing results for all of the inputs that you've put in. So hopefully by the end of this month, you know, we're looking really, really good right before Mother Nature decides to shut everything down. So appreciate everybody following along. If you like the content that you see here, don't forget to like and subscribe. And on this one, don't forget to stick around. I've got some bonus footage here at the end that I'm going to get into about a meeting I had with a special guest, another creator. Got the opportunity to sort of collaborate and hang out with another one of the creators that lives here close to me. With that, I appreciate you guys, everyone who subscribed, everyone who watches the videos. Thank you very much, and we'll see ya in the next one. So if you can't tell by the backdrop, playing a little bit of golf today with this guy, Ben the Lawn Guardian. Just bogeyed the first hole, so today's going to be pretty fun. Ah.
Didn't break it. Man, you gotta hit it.
I think I just got a stroke back.
That was.
Just got a stroke back, but it won't be long before I give it right back to him. Don't worry about that.
Familiar with Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, very.
Well, it's like a little to the left. No, that's just because you don't have the shoe on. Did you leave your pants out here too?
I did. I did. I'm getting smoked through 9.
9-9, huh? Well, you're fired.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah! That's the one you can put on your head.
Now I have to follow that.
Well done.
He hustled me. He hustled me. This one's for all the marbles. Putting for, I don't know, bogey on 18? Let's go see. Wonder why you didn't get the membership bounce there. This is your home course.
I think they should have just moved the green over this way. I don't know why they wasted this whole.
Yeah, I don't know what golf course architect put the green all the way over here. Clearly it should be right there, right?
The hole should be where my ball is.
Oh, nice putt. You're not supposed to follow that one.
Well, that's when you cut the edit, so you just see. This is when you get a close up.
Oh, so we edit to make things look better than they actually are? Is that what you're saying?
Don't
Oh,
you know this
okay.
about the YouTube world?
Nice putt.
Yeah, none of that was actually fungus in my lawn. I just painted.
So that wraps it up. It's a quick 18 holes here with me and Ben. He got me by a couple of 2-3 strokes over by there. All in all, it was a good day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good run to golf.
Knock him around. I only lost, I don't know, half a dozen golf balls. That's always a good thing. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. See you in the next one.